Hello, welcome to this episode of Please Don't Quit Academy. And this episode is dedicated to all my teachers. So, if you're working in education, K 12, I want to say, first of all, hello. I am your fake professor, Dr. Gerard, who cares? You all, I do actually have a legitimate PhD, if a PhD is a player hating degree. Because if you talk about teachers, I'm pretty much going to hate on you or just kind of ignore you because I'm trying to show self control. Or I may react and intentionally say something to hurt your feelings because I love and care for educators all over. With that in mind, I want to give you a tip. This is going to be a quick 10-minute video or shorter because I honor your time. You are. When it comes to not quitting, when you've got to the point where you're frustrated, you're disillusioned, let me tell you something. Step number one, some things that can help is stop taking work home. Get your purse, get your wallet, your coat, your jacket, your hat. Get your phone, water bottle, keys, and leave. Not leave, so we'll ignore that. But go home. Go home. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, I can't just go home. I have so much to do. Listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Anything that you are bringing home from your classroom, from your job, you really, honestly, if you think about it, you don't even have time to bring it home. Why? Because there is stuff that you could not do at work because you were committed to your job and you were doing your job. So that when you go home, there's things you have to do at home that you could not do at work. So you don't have time to take things from one job, your educational career, home to your second life. So let's give you some more whys. Okay. One, have a seat because you might be just doing too much. If you take home this big old bag full of papers and assignments and rubrics and all of this stuff and lesson plans and folder games. No. Slow it down. Take a deep breath. Keep in mind, you have just done your job. The day is over. You have put in 8+ hours. It is now time for you to go home to do the other important things in your life. It is now time for you to intentionally plan things that are fun for you or your spouse or your family or your friends to refuel you to be able to go back to work tomorrow. You also need to have time to eat and chew your food and enjoy it, to sleep, to do other things that you just enjoy. You are not, let's keep it real, going to do half the stuff you take home anyway. You're going to take that big old bag of stuff home, sit it down, and then in the morning when you pick it back up, you're going to feel guilty because you didn't do it. Why would you start your morning with guilt? That's a horrible way to start the morning. Start your morning with hope, people, not guilt. Leave all that stuff at work. It'll be there when you get there. No one's going to take it. It's fine. So what is our big concept? Instead of bringing home a lot of stuff to do during the week or anything, start to reorganize your time in school to make time to do the things that you're actually bringing home during the week. So here are some ways to do that. So one, quick review. Red light. Stop giving students work that you're not going to grade. So those little busy work assignments, those bell ringers that you're not using as formative assessments, those things that you're just doing honestly to keep them occupied. And that's a whole nother video because if you're just doing things to occupy them, you're not really using your time in an efficient way. Another video. Stop giving long assignments that, for example, if you're trying to do something with math, they don't need 50 questions for you to be able to understand if they can do that particular objective or not. You can literally figure that out in 3 questions. Have them show their work, well, we'll get to instead in a minute. And then stop, red light, stop grading homework. It's practice. We already know the equity issues revolving around homework, whose parents do their homework for them, who have to go home and babysit siblings and they don't have time for homework, or they're on the bus 2 hours going there and back. And by the time they get home, they've done it on the bus. No one's looked at it. It's a hot mess. You all. So why just save yourself time. You don't need to be grading something that's intended for them just to practice. Literally, just tell them this is for you to be able to practice so that you'll be prepared for when we do take a quiz to assess your skills or what have you. I know some of us fall into that trap of, oh, I bet the kids will say, is this worth the grade? Be honest, be like, no, this is actually just practice so that we get better at the skill that we're trying to achieve so that you are able to then learn higher skills or what have you. I'm not saying you're going to get a big hooray, but it keeps you from feeling the need to grade things just to make them do things. They're not going to get a grade on every single thing in life. They have to learn at some point some things you do just to get better, just like basketball practice. It's not the actual game, but you come to practice so you'll be prepared for the actual game. They have to start seeing practice problems and study guides and homework in another way if you choose to give homework or practice problems in class, as that's what it is. You're showing them how to practice getting better in class, where you can watch them and see them and then kind of diagnose errors and things like that. So that's what you want to be able to do during that time. So instead, you can debrief using discussions in class to formatively assess understanding. So for example, if you're doing a math lesson, instead of afterwards having them do all these problems and then you're trying to go home and grade all these problems, give them 1 or 2 problems and have them talk about how they would solve them, what they think, what strategies they would use, and then unpack that, have them compare and contrast different ways they would have done something, talk about it out loud, ask questions, and assess in that moment to see where students really are to help guide your instruction. Also, at the end of class, end it a little bit early. Why? While you're giving them time to do exit tickets, give them a couple buffer minutes to teach them how to properly transition, whether it be clean off their desk, prepare their books for the next time, pick up things around them, file their notes in proper places. While they're doing that, you can be reviewing your exit tickets that maybe only have 1 or 2 problems or prompts on it so that you can quickly kind of go through and get a glimpse of where they are, what they got a hold of, about what percentage of your class is ready to move on so that you'll be prepared for the next lesson with greater insight. Also, provide shorter quizzes versus these huge, long assessments that require these elaborate rubrics. Yes, rubrics are awesome because it helps you see the different strength levels of students and abilities in different portions of an assignment, but also giving them shorter quizzes more often kind of spiral that learning so that they're looking forward to them and you have a little bit less to grade, but then you can focus in on what are they missing so that you can pull that student and then one-on-one go through maybe a diagnostic or figure out what's really going on, not just what they missed, but maybe why, and have those conversations, which are way more effective than just marking the same thing wrong multiple times and having no concept of what they're doing wrong. And then you have no drive to figure out how to fix it. Not fix it, but how to help correct the student to be a better learner. All right, so pretty much, I think that was it. That was it for today. So thank you for attending our session in Please Don't Quit Academy. And if you're gonna pack anything, once again, don't pack a book bag full of work to take home. Pack some food because hungry people hurt people. So pack your breakfast, your water bottles, your lunch, your vitamins, food, because you may have to stay after school. There may be a staff meeting. You need to eat so that you can be healthy, so that you can have the fuel to help the people that you are serving. Be blessed, and remember, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. You do not want to be walking around broke. All right, be blessed.